This 13th floor video session is powered by The Rock Shop. You all set to go, Dennis?
Yeah.
You guys ready? I will start rolling. Stand by. Hi, welcome to the 13th floor. I'm Marty Duda, and today we're thrilled to have Nadia Reid back with us. How's it going?
Good, thanks. How are you?
And you are, I'm fine, thank you.
Good.
And we have Sam Taylor with us as well, who's going to be playing some guitar in a little bit. Yeah, so this is all very exciting. Now, of course, you have the new album out, Preservation, and all sorts of stuff has been happening. You and I spoke a couple of months ago, and since then the album has been released, and you've been in Europe.
That's right. We spoke just before we flew out. So we did a big tour around Europe, about 20-ish shows, kind of felt like non-stop, playing and kind of, I guess, releasing the album over there before it was out.
Right.
So, yeah, and then came home and on the day of its release over here, and then...
Were you greeted with hordes at the airport?
Not quite, but there was lots of love when the album came out. Yeah, it's kind of, it feels good to get something out in the world, because to get an album out, because you don't have to hold on to it anymore, you know. So.
Well, it hasn't been that long since the first album came out. It was what, 2 years?
Yeah, about 2 years.
Which is kind of normal these days, but it seems like a lot has been going on in the meantime. You've been playing a lot, and putting the record together, and there's been a lot of buzz about you in the interim, so it must feel different this time around putting this record out than the first one.
Well, yeah, I mean, it feels very proper this time. You know, there's people, there's a record label, and there's a publicist, and you know, all these things that weren't there in the beginning. So, you know, I just don't have to, you know, I just have to get used to kind of taking a couple of steps back, and that's good, because I can just focus on the music side of things.
Right.
Yeah.
Now you're going to perform 3 songs for us today, and the first one we're going to hear is Preservation.
That's right, yeah.
Well, what can you tell me about that one?
It's the title track. It's the first track. It was the song that ended up being finished in the studio. For me, it's probably the most significant song on the record for a personal reason, but yeah, we had a good time recording it.
You did. Yes, you did.
I think it was it was recorded quite late at night, and so, you know, sometimes the best kind of takes came really late, or so yeah.
All righty, well, let's give it a listen, and we'll come back and find out some more about what happened late night in the studio. This is Preservation.
If I stayed with you longer than I had to, would I know the light shining in my bedroom? And I ate my mother. You are your father's son. I am right behind you. I know I will find say our tide has been receding, and I ate my mother. You are your father's son. I am right behind you. And listen to words forward movement, never easy. And I could tell I was lying to myself, and I ate my mother. You are your father's son. I am right behind you. I know I will find the one to hold on to.
Welcome back to the 13th floor. We're here with Nadia Reid and Sam Taylor, and Twig the Wonder Cat is keeping Sam occupied over there. Very good. We just heard Preservation, and you were talking about, we started talking about your little excursion into Europe. How did the shows go? Were people familiar with you? Did they know the music? What's your status over there?
Yeah, it felt like we were kind of building on the first tour, and yeah, it's weird. I think because we're we're an international band. I think people think we're I don't know. It's just kind of like it's a little bit more exciting because we're from so far away.
Yes, that does help.
And there's this amazing thing that I don't know if it's something that happens a lot, but about a handful of people would come to the shows and they'd have these immaculate photographs of me that they'd printed out.
Of shots that they took themselves, or
no, just
they
press
found?
images. Yeah, and one of them signed, and it was just quite a surreal moment of I'm like, why does anyone want this? But for them, I could tell it was meaningful. Yeah.
So that obviously means that your music is touching people in a certain way.
Yeah.
Do you think about that when you're up there on stage playing, and to these, strangers out there, that you're having that effect?
I think not in the moment of performing, but in and around putting out a record and hearing feedback from people, or after we play a show and there's a line of people that want to, get a record or say something that it's meant something to them. That's the whole point, really.
Mm-hmm.
In a way, it's a big part of why anyone would do this, Yeah.
Did you ever come up to an artist and get a photo signed for you?
Have I ever done that?
Yeah.
Not that, no. But I totally, if I go to something and feel moved by it, I'm always compelled to tell them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I feel so nervous when I do that. When I see someone, it's almost like I can't talk to them.
Yes. Well, there's two things going on. You don't want to feel like an idiot, and you don't want to impose on the artist as well, right? Because you figure they got their own thing going on. So yeah, you never know, and everybody reacts differently. Some people love hearing that, and some people are all awkward and don't know how to react it back. So it's a strange thing. this kind of intercommunication with musicians. But yeah, one thing I want to ask you, you mentioned briefly about doing these sessions late at night with Sam's guitar. When I was listening to the record, I was wondering if when you're writing the song, you had in mind these kind of sonic outbursts that might end up happening. Were you writing with those things in mind, or did that stuff kind of happen after the fact?
It happened in the studio, yeah. I mean, basically I came to the studio with the songs and the band. We kind of present the song and then the band just do what they feel they should do, and it's just a result of 4 people feeling really comfortable with each other and the hand of Ben Edwards, and everyone feeling like they are completely free to, there's nothing is really too thought about on this record, it's never, I never think that far, whereas that's why I work with people who think in a different way.
But it certainly sounds well crafted. It doesn't sound like it's a studio jam that you know what I mean? It sounds like you guys know what you're doing in there, so.
Yeah, I think that's a result of playing together as well within that 2 years and developing more confidence.
Well, we're going to hear another song. Reach My Destination is the next one.
Yeah.
What have you got to say about that before we hear it?
This song's about moving back to Port Chalmers after being out of home for a few years and going through a breakup and just having to go and live back in my mother's house and finding myself back in Port and just it just came out. Yeah. So
Alrighty. Let's give it a listen and we'll come back and talk a little bit more.
Cool.
There is one main street in this town. There are 2 straight lines in my head. It goes on. It goes on forever. There were 2 little words that I used. One was fuck, the other was you. It's the lies we tell that keep us ever younger. She is kind, she knows where I've been. Onward we go, marching Christian soldiers. There is one main street in this town. There were 2 roads to go down. In the end, I know I will reach my destination. In the
Righto, we're back here with Nadia Reid and Sam Taylor. We've got one more song that we're going to hear. But I did want to ask you about all the international press that you've been getting, because it's got to be exciting. You get a call from Mojo magazine or somebody in the was NPR in the U.S. They've done
for the first record they did.
Yeah. Does that come completely out of the blue? How do you react when something like that happens?
Well, I think that the thing with the Mojo review, which was meaningful to me, was that the Andrew Mail who interviewed me was an incredible interviewer,
Mm-hmm.
and I instantly felt like he understood the record. He asked really clever questions, and then he wrote a really a review that resonated with me, and
Mm-hmm.
that for me that makes it something to be proud of. It's like I don't even kind of know what before when we first got reviewed in Mojo with the first record, I didn't really know what these magazines were, but now it's something to be really proud of. But also it's like you just it's as meaningful as someone that's going to say that something's negative.
Yeah.
You can't take it for gospel. You kind of have to, yeah.
But it also must kind of have an effect on how people look at you back home again, because suddenly you're somebody that people overseas are paying attention to, as opposed to just in this little closed community that we have here.
Yeah, it's an amazing thing that enables us to continue to play, and for it to become more of a career and less of a hobby. But it's a funny thing because nothing's changed. The music hasn't changed,
Mm-hmm.
but someone now is saying, Mojo is now saying that this is worthy of attention, whereas nothing's changed. But also, that's how people find out about music.
Yeah, well, that is what it's kind of a lost art, because there's so much music out there. It used to be that you'd have lots of outlets that would tell you what to listen to and what point out things that were kind of tastemakers, and that is because of the internet and the way things are. There's so much of it that there's a blur. So, there's still a few little shining lights out there that do that, I guess. So now that record's out, you're back here in New Zealand. You've got a show at the Tuning Fork, and what's on store after that? What have you got planned?
Well, Sam and I are going to Australia
for
3 shows over there. It's the first time. No, it's not the first time, but the first kind of
tour.
Yeah, first tour that Sam is involved in. Yeah.
To Australia.
Yeah. And then that ends, and then we're going back to Europe in August and September for more touring.
And have you been writing all along, or do you kind of put that aside and do that separately?
I've just had 2 weeks at home, kind of recuperating, and it's like starting to fire up again, the old kind of writing machine. Yeah.
Very good. Alrighty, we got one more song we're going to hear, The Arrow and the Aim. Give us a little insight into that one, if you will, please.
Well, this is like probably the loudest song, one of the ones we recorded first. And
do you remember where you were when you wrote it?
I think this was at the period of moving back home.
Right.
Yeah. It was like a lot of songs came out of that moment in time.
And when you sing it, do you, in your own mind, go back there? When you're performing it?
I mean, I think of certain things, but I kind of want people to take their own interpretation of its meaning, and
Excellent.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for coming by and doing this. It's fantastic, and great that all the good stuff is happening to you. So
thank you.
Enjoy yourself heading overseas, and we'll catch you at the Tuning Fork.
Yeah, awesome.
And in the meantime, we'll hear The Arrow and the Aim.